The coronavirus has created financial emergencies for some families. People have lost their jobs, some businesses are struggling, but as we deal with short-term problems, challenges that always existed are here as well. So in today's Money Monday, we're asking Jayme Meredith, Senior Vice President at Hefren-Tillotson, to remind us of the things that none of us should forget to do. And Jayme, you're seeing people really not impacted by the virus making financial missteps, like neglecting important stuff. What kind of stuff are you talking about?
Well, absolutely, David. The virus has caused all of us to focus on some important things, the economic impact of that. But really, we're seeing some basic just missteps. We have a joke in our industry after we've all quarantined for so many months. Are we going to see more births or more divorces a couple weeks or months from now? But under both of those scenarios, you've got to prepare for that. There's some very, very basic things. So if you have let's just say the births, if you have a new child, well, you're probably going to be worried about school openings and daycare and all of those things that are front and center, but you really should be thinking big picture. You should be thinking life insurance. If you're the primary breadwinner and you have children, what happens if you pass away? What happens if, heaven forbid, you succumb to the virus? A lot of folks are not thinking about that right now. And as a young family, if you factor in a mortgage, a car payment, student loan payments, you could be talking hundreds, if not, of $500,000 of coverage easy per child.
And what are some of the other things, some of the basic things that people forget about? Because sometimes companies will offer life insurance and people just don't fill out the beneficiary form, right?
Oh, absolutely. We see that so many times, especially with young families or folks that get married older in life. Myself, I realized a few years ago that my 13-year-old son, I forgot to add him as a beneficiary. And this is the basics, so important. Look at those beneficiary documents. David, I had a client once came to me after the fact, but they got married later in life, and shortly into the marriage, the husband passed away. He had neglected to make his wife the beneficiary on his life insurance, on his 401k. Everything went to his parents. His widow went to his parents and said, I think there's a problem. And they said, no problem. This is what he wanted. So she didn't get anything on his side. And it would have been so easy just to fill out a piece of paper. And today it's all electronic. You go onto your website and you type it in, and it just avoids all of those problems.
Yeah, that's a lesson to be learned, certainly. So we talked about younger couples, but let's talk about more established couples and the kind of things that they should be thinking about during all of this.
Right. We'll stick with life insurance. They should be looking at life insurance, but as you age, your risk of dying is not the biggest financial impact. It's the risk of disability, and whether that's disability insurance that protects your paycheck should you injured at work, or long-term care insurance as you get older. And we've seen with this pandemic, with coronavirus, the impact it has on nursing homes and care facilities like that. A lot of people today might like the idea of having a long-term care policy that brings the care into their own homes rather than having to go to a facility. So these are the things as you age that we all need to think about. It's the realities of life.
And there's also a tax change that I know you want to talk about, because people may not be aware of this, and it could really affect your heirs, right?
Right. At the end of the last year, there was something called the Secure Act passed, and that has major changes to individuals wanting to leave wealth to their heirs. If you leave an IRA, if you plan on leaving an IRA to your children, the Secure Act has changed the taxation on that significantly, and not for the better. And we would have been hearing a lot about this if it wasn't for coronavirus, but folks that have gone through the process of looking at your estate plan, getting all those legal documents in place, if you've done that a few years ago and you've not updated that since the Secure Act has passed, you may be unnecessarily costing your heirs thousands upon thousands of dollars in taxes that can be avoided. So as you get a little older in life and you do plan on passing some of these things to your heirs, and you haven't looked at it because of the Secure Act, you have to be very careful, and you should be reviewing that with either your financial advisor or your attorney.
What an important reminder. Thank you so much, Jayme, as always, for talking with us. We appreciate your advice.
Well, it's great to talk to you all the time.
Senior Vice President at Hefren-Tillotson, Jayme Meredith. You can also get advice from Jayme on Sunday mornings. He is on from 9 to 11 a.m. on KDKA Radio. And we want to thank Hefren-Tillotson for sponsoring our Money Monday segments right here on PTL.